In 2022, Rockstar, the developer behind the Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption series, was hacked. As a result of that brazen intrusion, data relating to the developments of the upcoming latest installment of GTA 6 was spread out into the internet. Speculation and rumors ran rampant during the time, but as the dust settled, a clearer picture began to emerge. So, what really happened back in 2022? On September 18th, 2022, at 26 minutes past 4 in the morning, a user going by the handle Teapot Uber Hacker posted a treasure trove of around 100 videos. Nearly an entire hour of game footage from within GTA 6's development environment. Within the leaked material was videos detailing a lot of features currently in development that showed things like a new weapon, inventory system, stealth mechanics, handling and hiding of bodies, character animations, and even an entire diner robbery sequence, where the player characters switch between the two main protagonists almost instantaneously, along with a slew of other things that fans of the GTA series have been poring over since the leak occurred. Jason Schreier of Bloomberg called it one of the biggest leaks in video game history. A day later, Teapot Uber Hacker posted again, claiming to have access not only to the source code of the upcoming GTA game, but also the source code of GTA 5. The hacker wrote that they had tried to negotiate a deal with Rockstar for the return of the unreleased material, with the source code being the essential building foundation to any piece of software. For those of you who don't know what it is, this was especially damaging for Rockstar. Think of it like all of the material from their development environment that was never intended to see the light of the public eye. 12 hours after the initial post, Rockstar issued a statement on Twitter which confirmed that they had indeed suffered a network intrusion by an unauthorized third party. Rockstar also confirmed that the leaked footage did in fact show current developments of the next Grand Theft Auto. Thus, the leaks were deemed to be genuine, straight from the horse's mouth. Clearly, Rockstar doesn't negotiate with terrorists. Having confirmed that the leak was indeed real and the material was in fact early development footage from the upcoming GTA 6, the fanbase and gamers all around the world had a field day, salivating at the chance to get a glimpse behind the scenes and get an early viewing on what was in store for the next installment. Rockstar asked websites such as Reddit and YouTube, as well as content creators and moderators on such sites and forums, to remove any videos and images that happened to be spread from the leak, citing claims of copyright infringement. Regardless of content creators and bridge troll Reddit mods' willingness to do so, this would prove to be pretty ineffective, as the leaked material had already been widely spread throughout the internet. And I can say that, as this writer is himself a Reddit mod for his sins. Almost as a double whammy to Rockstar, the leak was deemed press-worthy in a lot of countries, so there wasn't really much they could do to stop the spread once the material was out there for the public to see. The cat was out of the bag, and unfortunately for Rockstar, it wasn't going back. For fans of the franchise, it was a golden opportunity to revel in good fortune. It was a rare peek behind the curtain of a very secretive developer for eager fans to satiate their appetite for anything to do with the latest GTA. Even now, internet sleuths are poring over the leaked info, trying their best to piece together a game that the developers are still putting together themselves. If you really don't value your sanity, you can see these forums for yourself. There are passionate fans bordering on obsessive, and this game has become their search for Bigfoot. Like seeing the Illuminati on dollar bills. Any little slight detail or a fart from Rockstar has some internal meaning to it that points to some big feature of the game that will certainly be added. For the love of whatever deity you pray to, just watch YouTube videos on the matter instead. We'll keep you right so you can hold onto your brain cells. Meanwhile, when some were speculating on exactly what was in the material and what it meant for the game itself, for example, its features, characters, locales, etc., others took the opportunity to lay criticism on a game that was still very much in the thick of being built. If you can take away one thing from this event, it's that gamers have very little patience and even less appreciation for how complex game development actually is. Memes spilled across the internet mocking the graphics and textures of something that was extremely far away from being a finished product. Testing and development environments are not pretty. They aren't meant to be. They exist as a means for developers to test out their games. Different features, animations, and otherwise in isolation so they can see how they're working so they can be tweaked and improved. They really don't give a full picture of what the finished product is meant to look like, and they aren't supposed to. To put it simply, if you're buying a car, you're not looking at the car. You're looking at a piece of it on the bench next to a toolbox, which doesn't really paint the full picture, does it? Thankfully, while seeing the damage that the leak itself did and the rampant abuse of people who didn't seem to know any better, other developers leapt to Rockstar's support, with many such as Uncharted 4 developer Naughty Dog sharing footage of the incredible Madagascar street sequence during its initial development. Anyone who had played the final installment of Uncharted would barely recognize how the iconic chapter in the game started out. It looks more like an elaborately modded Minecraft server, throwing a minecart down a roller coaster of a track. If the piss-taking wasn't bad enough for Rockstar, the headache of the security leak was certainly on their executives' minds. Not only was a major installment of a beloved franchise leaked while still baking in the oven, but now they had to scrub the internet of the material as best they could, as well as investigate and plug the leak. While we don't know too much about Rockstar's inner HR policies, there was bound to be some repercussions. Remote working and flexible workplace policies were likely affected, while Rockstar worked to tighten their already tight data security. So, what happened to Teapot Uberhacker? Teapot Uberhacker has since been found. According to the City of London Police, a 17-year-old had been arrested in Oxfordshire on the 22nd of September 2022, about a week after the leak. As far as we know, they are still facing legal consequences for their actions. The hacker had allegedly been a member of Lapsus, which had been responsible for a number of other hacks and data breaches at companies such as Robinhood and Uber. You have to wonder how bad Robinhood are to get robbed themselves. The hack even managed to trigger an FBI investigation. The Lapsus group had used remote working apps like Slack to gain information and materials. This was indeed as part of a plot for financial gain by ransoming the stolen material. After the teenage hacker's arrest, they entered a not guilty plea to the charge of computer misuse, a crime in the UK that involves using a computer for nefarious purposes, such as hacking into private networks and stealing data. Interestingly, they did plead guilty to breaching their bail conditions. While the details of the bail conditions aren't exactly public knowledge, the suspect was facing charges related to similar attacks by the Lapsus group against companies like Microsoft and Nvidia. You can more or less put two and two together and guess that those bail conditions had something to do with keeping the accused away from computers or an internet connection, something they obviously weren't interested in doing. After all, much like the law in GTA, the laws of the UK seem to be nothing but mere threats to this hacker, living the GTA lifestyle. After they entered their pleas of guilty and not guilty, the suspect was remanded in custody at a youth detention center. The current incarceration status of Teapot Uberhacker is currently unknown, more than likely due to the fact that they were considered a minor under UK law at the time of their arrest. Not only was this a monumental leak for gamers and fans to sink their teeth into, it was a huge security breach for a company that prides itself on its corporate secrets. Given that the information was gained through access to Slack channels that contain sensitive information, the future working conditions of so-called hybrid workers and those that work from home could certainly end up being impacted. Just one more corporate excuse to get worker drones back into the office, I suppose. Still, it looks like Rockstar have managed to get their house in order and no more leaks have occurred at the time of this episode's writing. Looks like the next we'll hear about GTA 6 will be when Rockstar announces it themselves. So far, they are keeping their cards very close to their chest, which is driving fans nuts all over again. If you're looking to try and ransom Rockstar by hacking into their studios, let this be a cautionary tale. They won't pay up and you'll probably get caught. Just do the same thing that most gamers are happy to do. Play something else while you wait for it to release. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more GTA gaming content. Also, check out what the mighty algorithm has served up for you next by clicking these videos on your screen now. You won't regret it. YouTube knows and sees all.